Well, we had some postseason shockers this week. Let's start off with the one that happened a little less than 12 hours ago. The number 3 seeded Bradshaw Mountain football team was home, taking on number 14 Coconino, And I guess if there was ever a game to ignore the disparity in seeding, this would be it. Now, when these two teams faced off during the regular season, they had an absolute dogfight, with the Bears winning 28-21. So you knew this was going to be a challenging game, but Bradshaw just struggled throughout the first half and went into halftime down 10-0. Now, second half, they actually started out well for Bradshaw. Kylan Jackson broke away for a 20-30-yard run. Then quarterback Michael Sanford, he finished off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run to make it 10-7. But then the Panthers responded with a touchdown of their own. Then in the fourth quarter, Jonte Jones, he had a rushing touchdown. So now the score is 17-14. So Bradshaw Mountain, they were right there. Then Coconino notched 2 more touchdowns to put the game out of reach, and they won it 31-14. So next Friday, Coconino, they will play number 6 Gila Ridge, who, well, talk about a game that was not very close. They dominated Estrella Foothills last night. Final score 42-13. A couple big factors from last night. After the game, I talked to Coach Bob Young, and he said that Bradshaw, one of their big things was they just struggled to control the line of scrimmage. And Kylan Jackson, who, oh, by the way, is the Grand Canyon Region overall player of the year, very deservedly so. Jackson only had about 2 or 3 big runs the whole night, never even got into the end zone. And it seemed that the Panthers' strategy in this game was whenever Jackson got the ball, everyone descended on him like a drone swarm. Still, he did get enough yardage to break Gabe Ricketts' all-time career rushing record for Bradshaw Mountain, meaning I think Jackson now has about like 4 or 5 different records over at Bradshaw Mountain. And this is a guy we are definitely going to be watching him play at the next level and likely D1. Now, going back to Wednesday, we had another postseason shocker. The Embry-Riddle women's soccer team, the number 8 ranked team in the nation in the NAIA, they hosted the Masters University in the GSAC championship game. 3 or 4 times during the game, the Lady Eagles hit the post or the crossbar. There was no score at the end of regulation, no score at the end of overtime, so they had to settle matters in a shootout. But the Masters got the Deke, converting 5 of their PKs to Riddle's 4. And now I'm going to turn to my guest today. We have Embry-Riddle Interim Athletic Director Eric Fundalevich on the show. And Eric, I guess between Embry-Riddle and Bradshaw goes to show that sometimes in games like this, well, the favorites don't always win.
No, at playoffs, we always kind of talk about it being it's a whole different season now, because every team starts out 0-0. And everything that you do during the regular season is what you do to prepare for the playoffs. And so anybody can be beaten on any given day, and you just have to make sure that you show up and that, the players are prepared and that they're ready. And, as far as our team goes, watching that game and, watching that match out there, our girls played very well. I thought the Masters played really well. I thought they came in with a different game plan just to try and potentially even get to the PKs, because they started out in the attacking mode, and then they just kind of backed off and really turned into more of a defensive mode. And, our girls got some fantastic looks at the goal, with shots. Like you said, they were off the crossbar. I can't tell you how many times, and we thought one of them was going to break through, and then you get to the PKs. And honestly, I was talking to Dan Balaguero, our men's coach, about it, and, kind of like football, soccer's a game of inches, and when our young lady stepped to the line to shoot hers, the one that missed, if it's a quarter of an inch to the right, that ball's going to hit the post at just the right angle that it's going to ricochet and it's going to go into the goal. But because it didn't hit it there, it ricocheted and came back out. And so now we're looking at a 5-4, and they put so much on the line. Both of these teams. And I'm also talking about Bradshaw as well too, and you just never know what's going to happen, on any given night. You got to make sure that you're prepared and ready, and sometimes you are prepared and the ball doesn't go your way, like, in our case we kind of felt that way for us. And it was a great win for Masters, and we still move on to the NAIA National Tournament. But would have been nice just to have that clean run all the way through the conference tournament into the NAIA National Tournament. But also at the end of the day, maybe it's a wake up call, and our girls are going, okay, this isn't going to happen now. We're not going to go into PKs anymore. Let's just handle our business in regulation. And I know Todd and Liz will I've already been talking about it, and the girls are ready to move on, and we're excited for what they're about to do here in the coming weeks.
Oh, yeah, Baze. Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, Bradshaw's season is over. Embry-Riddle, well, we'll be following them in the NAIA National Tournament coming up. When do the brackets come? When do they announce the brackets for that?
So they actually announced them yesterday.
Okay.
So we will be hosting Westcliff University, old Calpac foe, next Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon is when we'll be hosting them. So they'll be coming out here, and hopefully we put them away, and then the week after Thanksgiving we would move on to the final site, which would be out in Florida. But we're not going to get ahead of that one. We're going to stay locked in and focus in on Westcliff and making sure that we handle our business here first.
Like they say in Bull Durham, you just got to take it one game at a time.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Well, meanwhile, we had some exciting news come out of the Arizona sports world earlier this week. Now, on November 23rd, the Arizona Cardinals will take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, that in itself is not the exciting part. The exciting part is who is performing at halftime at State Farm Stadium that day. Now, after the whole debacle of Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, this is a halftime show that I can 1,000% get behind. At halftime of the Cards-Jags game on the 23rd, we are going to have The Warning perform. Now, isn't that awesome news, Eric?
I'm kind of confused because I'm looking at your notes here and it says The Warning, but I thought you were going to give us a warning of what was going on.
The Warning!
Because I have no idea who you're talking about. I do love music, John, but I really have no clue who The Warning is, and I'm curious if they're coming over from Sweden or somewhere like that you're really excited about.
They don't have to
give me a song. What song? What songs would I know?
Choke, Sick, that HE double hockey sticks you call a dream, Air, Evolve.
Yeah, you're swinging and missing
a
whole lot right now, John. You're swinging and missing a whole lot.
Okay, The Warning. For you who doesn't know, other people who don't, The Warning, they are a rock band made up of three sisters from not Sweden, Monterrey, Mexico, who are just killing it right now in the rock scene, man.
Apparently, because I know exactly who they are. They're definitely killing it, is what I would say. I mean, not that I know a lot about music, but I just wonder if we go outside downtown and ask people if they know who The Warning is and see how many yays we get and how many nays we get. I'm putting money on it that we get a whole lot of nays here, John.
I'm
just telling you.
I know, man.
We've had plenty of discussions about this kind of stuff over the years, so I don't know.
I know.
I can't get behind this one just because I don't know.
Well, okay, how about this?
I'm thrilled for you, though.
Well, when The Warning were little girls, they actually did a video. They did a cover of Enter Sandman, and it was so good that James Hetfield himself gave props out to those guys. And they were like, I think Danny, their singer's the oldest. She was only about maybe 12 at the time when they did this. And James Hetfield was like, hey, you girls did really good in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but just because they do stuff that back then doesn't mean that they would be good now.
But they're better now. But, okay.
It's all in who thinks that. So it's you go right with John. I'm excited for you. Let's just go with that. I am so excited for you, John. I hope you're going to the game so you can watch that halftime
Of course
show.
I'm going to the.
So you are now purchasing a ticket to go to that game just for halftime.
I am going to the Warning concert with a football game sandwiched in between.
I can respect that, John. I especially when we're talking about the Cards and the Jags, I can really respect that. Yes,
exactly. And okay, you know what you talk about? You never heard of The Warning. Probably a lot of people in downtown Prescott never heard of The Warning. Well, here's the thing. Well, let's go to Bad Bugs Bunny or whatever, the Super Bowl halftime show performer. And you know what? Before he was announced as a Super Bowl performer, guess what? Not a lot of people knew who he was. How many people went, who's Bad Bunny? Even I was like, who the heck is this clown?
Now, I have heard of him, and I've heard of him for a while now. But I'm actually surprised you being around so many student athletes and students just in general that you have not heard that. That's where I've heard it from, is being around the student athletes and my own children. I don't listen to Bad Bunny myself. I listen to plenty of other things, but definitely not a Bad Bunny. But I don't know now. For me, halftime has turned into a good time for me to go refill my plate and get ready for the second half.
Same here, but I think I think this kind of goes to a problem, or maybe not a problem. It's just the way society is these days. Where okay, let's go back 2, 3, 4 decades ago when they were announcing Super Bowl halftime shows, and you have like Michael Jackson, Phil Collins, U2, the Rolling Stones, Prince. I mean, when they announced those guys. I mean, the vast majority of people are like, oh, they're performing. He's performing. Okay, cool. It's like pretty much everyone knew who those people were. And why is that? Because during that period of time, entertainment, pop culture, it was confined to a few sources: TV, radio, magazines. And even if you weren't a fan of these performers, you still knew who they were because they were in the news a lot. Or you go to supermarkets, you go to bookstores, you go to newsstands, their faces were on like every magazine there. So you were familiar with them, but I think the problem is now with, like I said, I don't know if I call it a problem, but it's just the way things are today. The thing is with the advent of social media, with the advent of things like Spotify, we don't have that commonality of information sources anymore. I mean, Spotify will come up with playlists based on your listening habits. YouTube, they'll use the algorithm to give you recommendations on what music you're listening to. So basically, your chances of being exposed to different kinds of music is now reduced.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, and I'm not trashing Bad Bunny at all. I mean, honestly, there are a lot of people out there that are really excited for this, and they should be. I mean, honestly, for me, back then, I remember when Prince was coming on, my parents would be like, Prince is coming on? And not that they didn't like Prince, but they were like, why do you – well, I like Prince, so I'm excited to see Prince. Mm-hmm. So there are quite a few people out there that are excited for this, and they should be. And honestly, maybe Bad Bunny deserves to be a halftime show. I don't know. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, if I am going and refilling my plate for a second round, and I hear something, or I turn over and look to see what the show looks like, it might catch my eye, and but not that it'll turn me into a fan, but maybe I'll look over and go, oh, maybe I will watch it for a minute. But I wonder if some of this also is to try and bring in more. And a newer audience as well to the NFL. They already know that they have people captured to watch the game and everything else. So maybe if you play a Bad Bunny, maybe those fans of Bad Bunny are going to tune into the game a little bit more and go, okay, maybe this isn't, as bad as it is. I mean, for me, again, not every show have I enjoyed at halftime. I mean, when they had the Dr. Dre and Kendrick Lamar and Eminem, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic when they did, the Janet Jackson and she had her outfit,
the wardrobe malfunction
with Justin Timberlake. I loved it. I mean, I like Janet Jackson. I like all of them. I mean, I haven't had issues as long as it's entertaining to me. I don't have an issue, but sometimes it's the name that needs to catch you to bring you in to be entertained. And the name didn't catch me, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch. That's why I say I'm not trashing him being in it. It's whatever. I mean, I think it's great for whoever's excited about it. I mean, look at you and The Warning. You're all pumped. I'm not going to go buy a ticket to go see The Warning in Jacksonville and the Cardinals. So I don't know. Maybe this brings in a new audience. I mean, trying to see the other side of the coin on all of this as well too, and just trying to make sense out of why. And not just the football halftime show, but any shows, that you have coming out. I mean, what's the attraction? What's the audience that they're trying to reach?
Well, I guess we'll see. I know they're not going to reach me with this.
I was going to say they're definitely not reaching you, John.
If you put Baby Metal on there, I will definitely watch that halftime
Your Super Bowl has turned into the Cardinals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I get that.
All right, folks. We're going to take a break here on our show. When we come back, we're going to talk to Eric Fundelevich about some of the other things going on up at Embry-Riddle involving sports and, kind of recap the fall season. Look ahead to the winter season, which is actually underway now. So, all right, folks. We'll take a break here on our show. We'll be back right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Joining me on the show today, I have Eric Fundalevich, well, now the interim athletic director up at Embry-Riddle. And let's talk about the interim title because a few weeks ago, Phil Hess, who had been the AD up there for the last several years, well, he is now enjoying his retirement now, Eric. And, of course, Phil, certainly did a very good job in that role. I think one of the big things was Phil, in all my years dealing with him, Phil just seemed to be an easy guy to work with.
He's doing some good stuff here. In his life, I think it was just time for him to see what that next page was, honestly. Mm-hmm. And so he's off and running, and we kind of hit the ground running as well too, and just kind of we've got that position open, and actually hopefully it'll be closing here soon. Mm-hmm. In terms of trying to find that right fit for that, but we're excited. I mean, our movement moving forward. Last couple of weeks have been it's been a little bit of an adjustment, but it's been a good adjustment, and all the coaches, our staff with Juanita at the front, and Liz with sports information. I mean, even Jill with volleyball with her and her administrative role too. I mean, everyone has really kind of stepped up, and we just feel like the department's moving in a great direction right now, and we're excited for what's coming now. If we can add some more pieces to the puzzle, in some of those roles, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're excited. We're really thrilled, and we're excited for Phil and his endeavors moving forward and his future. And but now we're like we keep saying, we're like, okay, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep this progress going, and where can we go next with everything? Because we've had a really good fall season, and we're excited for winter and spring to roll around, and who knows what the future's going to hold for us.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of interesting with Embry-Riddle moving forward, and certainly you've been moving forward in a very good way. And I know I've talked to my Kelly Cordes about this, and of course he'll be joining me on the broadcast today for the Flag Football Elite Eight state game. And when we talk about Embry-Riddle, maybe it's not the best kept secret to our listeners here on KYCA, since like with all the other teams, they give Riddle a lot of coverage. But for a lot of other people out there, it just seems like Embry-Riddle sports is one of the best kept secrets in the Tri-City area. I mean, when you look at the success that all your teams have had over the past decade.
I think Embry-Riddle's been like that, honestly, since my wife was in high school. She used to, she's like, we would drive down the road and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's Embry-Riddle as they drove by. And I think that's still kind of the feeling, which is okay. I think we want it to be we need to be out in the public a little bit more is pretty much what that comes down to is, we need to make those strides moving forward with that. And I know a lot of our coaches have been doing a lot of good stuff, getting out into the schools and, last year, getting involved in the Christmas parade, doing little things here and there. So I think, we're going to try and ramp those up a little bit because we not just from a student, from the student athlete experience and from sports, but just from the school itself. I mean, with our planetarium, we've got all the new builds that are going out there with the new dorms and everything. I mean, we want people to come out and to see what Embry-Riddle has, not just from an athletic standpoint, but even from a community standpoint. But athletically, we've just been consistent. I mean, our teams have been very good over the years, and hopefully that is a bridge that people can use to come out and to see what we have going on out there. And I mean, again, we have how many teams that have been to national tournaments? We have how many teams that have won conference championships? I mean, geez, right now, I mean, if you're looking at our fall sports, we've got cross country. Both of those are ranked 8th in the country. You've got women's soccer who was 8th in the country. I'm not sure where they ended up, recently now, but they're all national tournament qualifiers. They're all conference tournament qualifiers with men's soccer, volleyball, and now you've got basketball and, wrestling coming up. And I mean, it's just the baseball, softball. We have so many good things going on out there that, we're excited. We're proud of what the kids are doing, both in the classroom, in the community, and on the floor, on the pitch, or on the baseball field, the softball field, whatever it is. Now it's just trying to get out there a little bit more in the community to let everybody know all the fun stuff that we're doing out there.
And I guess right now it's maybe in the talking stage, but I do know that again, going back to our flag football broadcast we're going to do with Prescott and ALA Gilbert North today at 2 o'clock here on KYCA. Now, a lot of colleges are starting to form their own flag football teams, and including some GSAC schools. I think Ben Mesa, Ottawa, ACU, they're looking at they're starting to put together flag football teams, and I think Embry-Riddle is. You guys are exploring that right now, huh?
We've had discussions. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I know I've heard it from when Phil was in the AD seat and him talking to Ken Witcher, our chancellor out there, that could be a possibility. But I think that's going to be something for the new AD when she or he come in, in the discussion on, how do we do that? And if we do it, we need to make sure that we're doing it correctly. You just don't want to start a program and not have anything in place for, I don't want to say, I guess immediate success, I guess, is pretty much what you want to say. I mean, especially when you're looking at our community and how well the flag football is here. I mean, you feel like we probably have an opportunity to start very well too, with whoever we were to bring in. But I know there have been talks. Nothing has been solidified. Like I said, I think right now we're in that changing progression right now in our department and trying to see where we're going, with everything, just in general right now with getting an athletic director. But, I think as far as the flag football concern is, obviously it's a growing sport and it's exciting. I mean, it's fun. It's, we've got plenty of friends who have children on the flag football team here at Prescott that we, will tune in and watch your broadcast and everything so we can hear what's going on and follow them along. And it's fun. So to be able to have that out there, I think would be great. It's just a matter of time and when in discussion on whether we get that out there or not. But I would tend to think that's definitely something that would be discussed.
All right. Well, folks, we're coming up to another break here on the show. I got Eric Fundalevich, interim athletic director at Embry-Riddle, on the show with me. Before we go to break, however, as always, it's time to see who's shined over the past 7 days as we present the Tri-City Sports Roundup 3 Stars of the Week, starting with the ladies. Our number 3 star is Lucy Zembick of the Prescott flag football team. She recorded an interception and a sack in the Lady Badgers' 24-10 victory over ALA Queen Creek Wednesday. The number 2 star is Nora Gunderson of the Prescott swim team. She finished 8th in the 100 free and 9th in the 100 back at the state meet last Saturday. And our number 1 star of the week is Sophia Noriega of the Embry-Riddle cross country team. She was the conference champion at the GSAC championship meet last Friday. Now, for the guys, our number 3 star is Jason Parent of the Yavapai College basketball team. He notched 23 points in the Rough Riders' 90-87 loss to Utah State Eastern Tuesday. The number 2 star is the detective, Torin Bosch of the Yavapai College basketball team. He posted 20 points in the Rough Riders' 73-70 win over South Mountain last Friday. Bosch was also named the ACCAC Player of the Week. And our number 1 star of the week is Noah Gift of the Embry-Riddle basketball team. He notched 35 points in the Eagles' 87-79 victory over Lewis and Clark College last Saturday. Congratulations to our 3 stars of the week. Break time here on the Roundup. We'll be back right after this. All right, folks, we are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with us here on the show with me. I have Eric Fundalevich, interim athletic director for Embry-Riddle. And Eric, we only got you for a few more minutes here because around 8:40 you got to bug out and get over to the airport, right?
Yep, I do. I've got a bolt, and you called me last minute, and I was like, well, shoot, I already have plans, but I'd love to jump on the show with you. However long you need me, I'll jump on and do it. So
all right, so we're good here for a while. And like I said, we are now kind of wrapping up fall sports for Embry-Riddle. We're into winter sports, and I'll tell you what, speaking of being into winter sports, man, oh man, Embry-Riddle men's basketball, probably one of the youngest rosters in the GSAC, but Coach Ben Tucker and his guys, they have just been storming through the early part of their schedule.
They have, honestly. It's funny if you go and talk to him and you say, hey, this is a great job. He's like, it's the scheduling. And I'm like, no, you have a really good team, Ben. Like he has done a great job. The kids that he has that have come in have really bought into what he's doing. You've got great talent, kids that work their butts off. They're young, they're energetic, and they're talented, not to mention the fact that when you've got, Ben and Doug, running the thing over there and putting in some good stuff to put these kids in a really good position. They're fun. They're off to the best start in school history. They started 5-0. Unfortunately, they lost yesterday to Eastern Oregon. But it was a battle. I think it was like 89-81, and then they play again today. But they are fun. They, when you've got the players like Noah and Pete, and then you add, and honestly, even our little guards. It's funny. Most people are like, "Man, those your little point guards they're too small." And I'm like, you know what, Isaiah and JC, they're good though. They're quick. They're both averaging 5+ assists a game, and they're firecrackers out there on the floor. So they, got to come out and watch them. Definitely they're a fun team. It's a fun brand of basketball. People that he brought into, the young men that he brought in to kind of go along with, what he had going on this year. They've done a really nice job. Adding Mature, a big 6'8" kid, has been a blessing. He's great on the defensive end. He can grab rebounds. He's really good around the rim. It's fun. It's fun. I highly encourage people to come out and watch them because they're a good team to really root and to cheer on and to be involved with as well as all of our teams.
Yeah. And of course, women's basketball, they got off to a bit of a rough start. I'm sure it's, Coach Trujillo, I think at the early part of the season, he likes to get those really tough NAIA teams in there to really test his ladies. But, given some of the talent they have back from this year, some of the add-ons this year, I'm sure second half of the season, we're really going to see some good stuff out of the women's team.
Yeah, I think so. I think right now they're in that feeling out process right now and trying to figure out, how all the pieces fit and how it's going to. It's a brand new system. He's putting a lot in, and he has a lot of new kids on the team too, and so trying to learn them and them trying to learn him and as well as each other. And when you lose people like Meg and Z, they've got that, they have that senior, that it's a moxie, I guess is what it is, that when they step on the floor, you just kind of surround yourself with that. And the team has that this year with their older kids, but it's not as outspoken. That's why I think it's going to take a little bit longer for them to come around. But he's been in some games. He's playing a really tough schedule, and things. Mike's been at it a long time. There's no doubt about it. He understands what he's doing and where this can all go. And so they just keep banging the drum that hey, just stick with this. Things are going to be good, and they will. We were up at NAU this last week watching them play. Up there, and that first quarter and a half, they were in the game with them. Honestly, you're looking at it and going, "Oh my goodness!" There's a chance you guys can stick right there with them, and and unfortunately, some untimely turnovers kind of turn the game in a different direction. But they're going to be good. They're going to be fun, and like I said, just like with the men and the rest of our programs, another team you're going to want to come out and support because they're great kids and definitely have some really, really good talent.
Yeah, and of course, wrestling. They started out the season top 20 in the preseason poll, and already doing some good things. That always tough Falcon invite. Two of the guys came away as individual champions in their weight classes.
They did, and honestly, we've got the Mile High Open going on right now out there at Riddle this weekend, and actually today's the final day. They were running it all day yesterday, so if you have any time and you want to watch some outstanding wrestling, please come out. I know it's free of charge to get in, but yesterday they went 3-0, in their duels with the teams that they played. I think it was Westcliff and Sierra Canyon. I can't remember who the third one was, but Casey, he always he knows what. Again, our coaches have been here long enough. They understand the university. They understand the students that fit right, and Casey, he keeps turning that roster over every 4 years with some new kids that really come in and just do a fantastic job, and they're awesome. They're a lot of fun. So that's actually, I'll be out there this afternoon too. So that's one reason why I'm bolting out of here quickly. So so it'll be fun. Everyone should come out and take a look at that, because I think Casey, he's going to have some more kids that are going to be fighting for a national championship this year.
One more question before you bail. We got to talk about, you mentioned him earlier, the Embry-Riddle cross country team. Women 1 point away from a conference championship. The men runner-up, as I mentioned, Sophia Noriega, individual conference champion. So going to be anxious to see what they do in the national meet coming up, I believe, next week.
Yeah, it is next week, and I believe they're in, I want to say they're in Florida, I believe, is where they end up going. And Chris, he's Mr. Consistent. I mean, honestly, you could put him right up there with Todd. I mean, in terms of the rankings and what you expect from their programs and how good they're going to be. And every year you just know that they're going to be one or two, and most times it's one. And what he did to get them prepared for the GSAC championships this year, and for them to go down there, and like you said, Sophia pulling out the victory was tremendous. And obviously he comes back and he's like, God, disappointed, want to be 1-1, but on both sides. But at the end of the day, being number 2 and still getting to go to the national tournament to compete and to make a mark there, and keep training and moving forward is always a good thing. And I know he was proud of his all of his runners this year, and as we all were, and of all of our student athletes. But he's done a great job, and we're really excited, because I think they're going to continue. I don't want to say they're going to make noise at the NAIA tournament or at the meet, because they always do. I think they're going to continue to do that and just keep working themselves up those rankings and putting some kids on the map, and hopefully coming away with some championships here soon.
All right. Well, again, Embry-Riddle Interim Athletic Director Eric Fundlevich, want to thank you very much for being on the show. Sorry you got bowled out here before the show's over, but you know what? Thanks for joining us here for the bulk of the show. Always fun to have you on here, even though we don't really see eye to eye on music.
Yeah, but but I love that though, John. That's the best part. I mean, if we saw eye to eye, I don't know. I mean, the conversation could get a little boring. So from my end, you'd be like, well, what am I going to talk to Eric about now? He's kind of boring, but so I appreciate you having us, having me on, and everything that you do for us. I know I say this often on your show, but I really hope people do understand that what the community does appreciate from you, and you supporting our student athletes. I think that's huge, and just the schools themselves. It's nice to have you, doing flag football and regular football, and coming out and doing soccer. You're stretched thin, but we do appreciate all that you do, because it's nice to see recognition for all of our students in the community itself. So thank you for having me out here, and even for the 45 minutes that I was on here, I appreciate it. I'm available most times.
Yeah. Well, thank you for those compliments. Appreciate it, Eric. And of course, like I said, we'll keep track of the Riddle teams and all the other teams out here in the Tri-City area, like we always do. Eric, thanks for joining us,
great.
And see you soon. Have yourself a good day, man.
Sounds good. You too. Thanks, John.
Okay, again, Eric Fundlevich, Interim Athletic Director at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And as we mentioned before, coming up today at 2 p.m., it's going to be on KYCA today, because over on our sports station, 1450 KNOT, the team, we are going to have college football over there. In fact, we have the ASU West Virginia game coming up soon, so we don't really want to try to interrupt that or maybe interfere with that. So we'll have Prescott versus ALA Gilbert North in the Elite 8 of state for flag football. That will be right here on KYCA. Kelly Quarters and I will be doing the play-by-play on that one. That will get underway at 2 p.m. And luckily, we don't have very far to go for this game. It's going to be right over at Prescott High School. And again, it's second game in a row in the state tournament where Prescott has to play an ALA team. I don't know. Maybe it's not all that unusual, because I think we have about, 30 or 40 of these ALA schools around the state. In fact, I remember reading about the American Leadership Academy school system, and I think realistically, I think they have maybe like about 12, 13 different schools in Arizona. And I also read they got one in, it was either North or South Carolina. I'm not sure which Carolina it is, but they did actually have one or two schools out there too. I don't know how you have like a system where it's like you got a bunch of schools here in Arizona and then like one or two in the Carolinas. But anyway, the school that we got to concentrate on today, the ALA school we got to concentrate on, is Gilbert North, a.k.a. the Eagles. And this could be a really challenging game for Prescott. Now, ALA Gilbert North, they're going to come into this game with a 12-2 record. And they did beat Paradise Honors on Wednesday. Paradise Honors, they were the number 9 seed. So 27-13 was the final score in that one. And the one player to really watch out for ALA Gilbert North, that's going to be number 8, Carissa Benke, their quarterback. And wait till you hear the numbers that she's put up this year. 2,682 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. In fact, there were 2 games this season where Benke had 6 touchdown throws. That's like even exceeding Al Bundy's famous total of 4 touchdowns in one game there. But, yeah, she had 6 touchdown passes September 18th versus Coronado. 6 touchdown passes October 21st versus Desert Sunrise. So really, really incredible talent. She's got some really good targets there. Probably one you're going to hear about a lot is going to be number 10, Macy Hansen. 316 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Also got to watch out for her on defense. 59 tackles this season, 6 sacks. Another one to watch out for is going to be number 7, Bella Fulcher. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But she has 468 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns this season. So, again, a lot of really good talent on this ALA Gilbert North team. And, of course, Prescott also has a lot of great talent. And I think, to me, the one thing that really strikes me when it comes to Prescott's success is, yeah, you hear a lot about, players like the Blue Blazer, Rihanna Aguilar, and the incredible season that she's having. The Blue Bandit, Maggie Maneely, who is just an interception machine and also does a great job receiving. I think Lucy Zembic in there, too, one of their top players on defense, along with Olivia Raber. But I think the other thing with Prescott is it's not like they just have like a core group of really, really good players and then just other people who are there to fill out the roster. It's like no, basically to me what I kind of equate Prescott to is I would kind of equate them to, say, the Cincinnati Reds of the 1970s, the big red machine, where, yeah, you had the big name stars like, Johnny Bench and Pete Rose and Joe Morgan and Tony Perez, but you also had a really, really good supporting cast around them. Guys like Dave Concepcion and Cesar Geronimo, Ken Griffey, Raleigh Eastwick, and that's what Prescott has. They have a core group of really, really good players, and then around them, they also have some really solid players as well who make great contributions. Aubrey Kitahada would definitely be one of those. 6 receiving touchdowns for her this season. Brinkley Larson is another one with 41 tackles and 7 interceptions this season. I think Addie Brandon's going to be another one because she had a really good game Wednesday against ALA Queen Creek. I'm sorry, as a Beavis and Butthead fan from a long time ago, I got to say it this way. It's Daria. She's cool. Yeah, I know. I'm in my 50s, but I still haven't grown up. I'm in my 50s, and I still haven't grown out of my first childhood. What do you want? But anyway, Daria Young is another one with 63 tackles. So basically, to me, Prescott is just a well-rounded, very deep team. So anyone that Coach Reinhardt puts out on that field is capable of making a big play, capable of hurting the other team, and figuratively, not literally, okay? Just so everyone doesn't blow a gasket when I say that. I think the other thing is, and I know when I was talking to some of the girls Wednesday after their round 1 victory over ALA Queen Creek, the one thing they say that kind of maybe sets them apart from other teams is they just bring a lot of energy to the game, which really helped them get that win over ALA Queen Creek, when actually Prescott really struggled in that first half. I mean, they turned the ball over 3 times in the first half, twice in their first 2 drives of the game. And normally You ain't going to win a game like that when you turn the ball over 3 times, but Prescott found a way to bounce back in the second half and win. And I think another thing that's really helping Prescott here in the postseason is the last month or so, they've had some really, really tough and challenging games against Coconino, against Flagstaff, against Bradshaw Mountain, where they actually had to come from behind in order to get the win. And I think that has really helped them instead of just rolling through all their opponents all season long. They get up to the postseason, they run into a little challenge, and they go, we don't know what to do. We've never been in a situation like this. Where if they do fall behind in the postseason, it's like, all right, we've been through this before. We know what to do. We just got to make some big plays, and we'll be back in it, and we're going to win. So I think that is really a couple of the big strengths for Prescott that maybe not a lot of people talk about, maybe not a lot of people see there. So we will see what happens. Again, 2 p.m. today on KYCA, 1490 AM, 103.5 FM. Also, you can listen online at kyca.info from anywhere in the world. It will be number 1 Prescott versus number 8 ALA Gilbert North in the Elite 8 of state. That's going to get underway at 2 p.m. So you can join and listen live to us here on KYCA, either on terrestrial radio or, as I said, online at kyca.info. It'll be me and Kelly Cortez in the booth for the game, and hopefully the rain that's supposed to hit us, hopefully that'll, hold off until at least the end of the game. So again, folks, we're coming up to the end of the show here. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you again in a few hours as we broadcast Prescott and ALA Gilbert North in the Flag Football State playoffs. Till then, have yourselves a good one.